past 3 weeks, 4 weeks already. There is a cure for the virus, and it's simple, and they won't release it. And the problem is they keep going on how bad it is. They say, some scientists are saying it's not a virus, it's a bacteria, and no matter what it is, you can kill it real easy, and they're not even going to say how easy it is because of the whole scenario of they can't prove all these scientists are stupid and they didn't know the cure for it was so simple. But yeah, I'll be talking about that tomorrow because it's just like, I look at it this way. If it saves one person when I release this information, which I have been doing, that's all I care about. And all these thousands of people that are going to die because they don't want to tell the truth about the virus. But, hold on. What's happening?
Tommy, would you like to share a story with us about something that you've experienced that's unique, a short story? Tommy? Are you there? Huh. Okay, well, Tommy, thank you for joining us. And I'd like to hear your show tomorrow night. Okay. Are you there?
Hi. Tommy fell off and Janet fell off, but I heard Tommy say what's happening. I don't know, maybe he just came by to give a report, but Janet checked out and so did Tommy, but Debra's, here comes Tommy again, but he's been doing shows as long as Janet. Him and Janet started together. Okay, Tommy, did you want to share a story for the archive on Ace Folklife tonight, a short story?
Well, what
you hear me?
Specifically do you want me to talk about? Yeah,
it's Ace Folklife tonight. It's Ace Folklife. It's Ace Metaphysical Institute archives for the American Communication Online. But the Patreon. You're a member of Patreon. On my Patreon account, we're trying to build a community. So this is like our group. I'm getting Suzanne and her people to share in our community on Patreon.com, and so Ace Folklife is the theme, but we're doing American culture. Folklife stories. Remember like we do with Ronnie Dawson on Saturdays, but it's called Ace Folklife, You Ain't Gonna Believe It. Culture Talk, TJ, Suzanne, Janet, Debra, Rich, Randle, Kevin, and now Tommy. That's the whole name of the show. I put everybody's first name up there. So tell a short story of whatever. You want to do a Bigfoot or you want to do whatever, just something cool or anything about yourself, Folklife. Hello?
What,
is somebody here?
I can hear you, Theresa.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought there's somebody. I heard something. Hello? Man, I'm spooking out. Okay, I'm going to mute and go check. But back to you, Suzanne.
Okay, thank you, Theresa. Tommy, do you have a short story that would be enjoyable for everybody listening today?
Okay. I guess it'll be a Bigfoot story.
Your choice. Completely your choice, Tommy.
All right. Unless you want to hear a long story, but I can make it short.
Short.
I was going through major problems in my life. I was working a field. I was living with a millionaire family, working on 45 acres, and I was kind of having heart problems, and I didn't know what was causing it. So I asked her to set me up to go to a doctor, which I did, but it was like a psychic doctor and a real doctor, so I could either have psychic work done or medical work done. I chose the psychic work for some reason.
Okay.
And during that time frame, he said, lay down, close your eyes, relax, and breathe. So I didn't know what was going to happen. All I know, I was having this pain in my chest for about 3 months, and I thought I was going to have a heart attack and die. So I was really worried. So he said, close your eyes. I did. And then when I did, I saw my father standing there. My father was a spirit. And he said, do what you feel is right. So I walked over to him, and I realized he was deceased at that time, even though I didn't know my father died. And I actually crossed him over, I brought him to an angel. And then when I came out of it, he said to me, wow, that's interesting. And I didn't even know what I did, because he said, well, you did something really important. So I went back home. I just finished my first book. It was How to See God. And I called my aunt up to tell her about my book. And she goes to me, you know, your father died. I said, when? He goes, he died last week. So I actually was in the doctor's office when he died.
Wow.
And I saw him there, and I crossed him over. But it was just really mind-boggling, because I wouldn't have known if I didn't call my aunt, because I was just telling about I released my new book. And she said, oh, no, he died. I said, well, nobody called me. She goes, I don't have your number. I said, did you call my brother? Did you call anybody else that could have got in touch with me? But there was no way I would have known. But after that, the problem that I had with my heart stopped. Then I found out he had 5 operations on his heart when he died.
So you were just you were connected to him and experiencing that pain.
And it was kind of bizarre, because I wasn't close to my father. My father wasn't like any. It was a really hard thing in my life, because he abused me most of my life. But he only stayed with us until I was 12. So it was kind of a really kind of strange situation every which way. But, I mean, in the end, I crossed him over. Not that I would have voluntarily did that, but I was right in the middle of the situation to do it. So I did. So I started learning how to cross people over, which was something that I wasn't planning on doing in my life. Because my wife at the time, her father died, and I crossed him over. And it was the most incredible story, too, because when I was crossing him over, there was a lady there, which was his wife, and she already reincarnated, and she didn't want to come back to meet with him. But she did, and it was just, I found out he died of auto asphyxiation. He just got married. He went in a room. He thought he was dying because he was not breathing, and he went in the room where his wife died, and he just thought he was dying, and he did die. But, I mean, I crossed him over, and then it finds out he did a number on the rest of his family, because everybody was supposed to get money, and he didn't give anybody money. He gave it to his wife. But, I mean, I'm just involved with these things and got pulled into them, not intentionally. I didn't say, well, I'm going to go do this. It's just I find myself in the middle of doing it. It's kind of a really strange situation, but when you have certain abilities and you're not told how to use them or shown how to use them, and suddenly you're using them, it's quite an interesting thing in your life. So for me, I was doing ghost busting when I was 16. I was doing hypnosis when I was 14. So I learned many things when I was young. But I was being visited by a spirit. I was being visited by a deity. I was working with multiple things from 11 when I saw my first alien. So it was part of my life. That's what you want, pineapple? So it was a trip. My life has been a great experience. It took me a lot to learn what I learned and put it all together to make it fit into a puzzle. That's why I came here in the first place. And what I would say about that, most people think they have a reason to come here, and it's pretty hard to figure out what that reason is. But through my trial and error, I learned the hard way the good and the bad things in life and how they all distract you from your true mission. And your true mission is never that hard. And, I mean, most people want to believe they're here to save the planet and save people, which I would say would be the opposite of the true meaning of what it really means, because soul's here to learn who it is and what it is. It's not here to learn what everybody else on the planet is. But,
hey, Tommy, Debra DeFranco's here, but I have this curious interest, and then I'm going to turn you off and turn Janet on, because Janet's back on here. But,
okay. All right.
I just want to know, Debra, and you're both Italian, but I just needed to know if there was a similarity there, because you're from the New Jersey mafiosa Italians, and she's from Canada. No, she's from New York.
No,
but
from New York.
Debra,
they were from the Bronx.
Oh, you're from New York? Okay, wait. Okay, but Debra, just real quick, because Janet just came back on, but I told her I'd turn Tommy off to turn her back on. I don't need both Hawaii people on. So, but do you know her? Oh, Tommy got off. Okay. All right. I wanted to know. Tommy dropped off. All right. Well, Janet's back on. I was going to give you a chance, Debra, but Tommy, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to run you off. I apologize. I didn't mean it to sound that way. Sorry, Tommy. But okay, Janet's back on.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It really is. It's okay.
Okay, I was going to get them to talk Italian stuff because it was like connecting the dots. Debra was telling me I was connecting the dots, but I just wanted to see, like Tommy showed up tonight and Debra was here, but it was just when Janet had dropped off. But Janet, you're back on and I'm muting. So I'm muting and Janet's back and Tommy's gone.
Okay. Janet, are you there?
Yes, I am. I had to take a break. Sorry, nature call.
Okay.
But that's good.
Okay.
I don't know where we were. I'm sorry.
No.
I drink tea all day, so there it goes.
That's okay. Debra, are you still here?
I'm here.
Fabulous. Okay. So, let's see. You're better at keeping track of whose turn it is. Is it Janet's turn?
Yes. Well, I thought, Debra, did you want to say something? Because I was actually going to just tell everybody I've got to go eat dinner. Just cutting into my dinner time. But anyway, I can do one final thing. But I want to say, Debra, you wanted to say something because when I came back, you both had texted me. So thank you for the text. I should have said, I'll be right back. But go ahead, Debra. Say what you wanted to say.
Uh-huh.
No, I didn't have anything I wanted to say.
Okay.
Sure?
I'm positive.
Okay. So I just think it's so funny, Debra. I haven't met you, but I know if you hung out at Cafe Tutu Tango on weekends for years, that we met. Even if we don't know that we met at one point in time. So I think that's so interesting. And then Janet shares her story, and her husband's family moves to Torrance, California, and the years that she gives were my grandmother is the one who was really very stable and very secure in her life, and that was during the time when she worked there, and she owned a home, and she owned a home into the 90s in that area. So yeah, it's sort of funny to meet these people, and we think that it's like accidental or there isn't any meaning to it, but obviously we are crossing paths for some greater cause, and I just find that over and over again people encounter one another, and so that's sort of like what happens when we start sharing our stories, that we start figuring out how we do know each other from a different time in our life. This is what I really love.
Yes, the synchronicities and how well connected.
0 degrees of separation. Some people say it's 6, but in my life I find that it's 1 degree of separation.
Right. And we're connected in many different ways, many different directions.
Yes.
Like it's more than one connection.
Right.
But I once read a book and it said how many times we're connected to each other, but I forget the stats on it. It was a book called River World, which was a fascinating book.
Can you speak up just a little bit?
Sorry.
Can you speak up a little bit?
Okay. Let me try readjusting my mic. I think I have my hair blocking my mic because I didn't put it on right. Okay. So
that's better.
Usually you ask me, were you still sharing stories? So I was sitting here, and my husband, who's trying not to make noise, comes in through the sliding glass window. So I see this man emerging from my door, and I go, he's full of groceries. So I was like, oh, I'll help you. I had to help him. And then, of course, but I'm back, and it's interesting because I really don't like to be on with Tommy. So it was interesting. He dropped off before I came back. I don't know what that was about. So but it's okay. It's all good. So where were we? So you had the guest, the police officer who's saying that we're not all, like, police are being depicted in a very negative way now. And I've known a lot of nice police officers, and they've always been kind to me.
Oh, he's really just an unusually well-suited human being for the work that he chose, and he did an extraordinary job, and he made the world a better place. But I maintain